Hello, everybody. I am the CEO of iArcade, and you are watching the best show in the world, Retro Buzz. Let's go.
This episode is sponsored in part by PTZ Optics. Why need a cameraman when you can just do it yourself? Visit ptzoptics.com for more information. Hey guys, it's Friday, so it's time for the Retro Buzz. And today we have a special. We have our community show. It's going to be a whole lot of fun today. But, you know, Glenn...
Wait. You told me this is going to be in 3D. You said this is our first 3D episode.
No. Where did you see that?
Well, I thought that's what you said. This was our end of month 3D.
No, this is Community Show 3, not 3D.
Oh. You got to be more specific with me, man.
Well, I don't know, but I know we have a special guest today, and he actually came in right at the wire and still managed to do it better than you. I'm just saying.
Who is it? I gotta know.
Now, we'll have to wait. But we have the man that's the most sane here. We got Mr. Douglas Smith.
I'll take that. Most sane. I mean, of all the adjectives and descriptive terms, most sane, I guess I can work with that one.
So how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for asking. It's Friday. Got a holiday weekend ahead of us, so looking forward to catching up on some back catalog of some Bidget games.
We also have with us, making his return, Mr. Travis MCP from YouTube.com.
MCP!
In the house.
Tron, you know all about it.
So when he said you were going to be running a little late today, I was like, yeah, it's no worries. He's technical. He'll get right in. And sure enough, right in. No problem.
I'm actually bummed because I actually a lot wear my Glenn's Retro Show TV shirt. I actually do. I'm not just saying that. I literally wear that shirt a lot. So I'm bummed that I'm not wearing it today. I feel like out of place.
I need to get you another one. That's gonna be getting worn out soon, man. Get you another one.
That's
stinky, no doubt.
I think Glenn needs to brand those sunglasses or 3D glasses, and he'll get a bunch of people.
These are Nintendo at its finest. This you could only get at the time when you purchased Rad Racer. It was a mail-in thing. And they sent it with the lenses backwards, so I couldn't even use them.
Blue and the red.
So these are Nintendo at its finest.
Well, Ed, as always, this is our community show, and we have the Zoom crew with us today. Who do we got on here?
Hey, it's JJ Zillion, just a regular fan of the show. Always love being here.
All right, who else do we have while I work on getting our video up and going here for that machine there? For some reason it decided to take a time out. Yeah, it's just, we'll get it. It'll be, just give me a few seconds. It's not you, JJ. You didn't do it.
You broke it.
I broke it. That's right.
There you go.
We'll get it going. Who else do we have? There we go. Let's zoom in on this. Let's see who else. Don't everybody talk at once.
Zoom crew.
Everyone's got laryngitis today.
I know.
No, Travis.
Hollywood looks like he's on there.
We got a big star here, and they can't talk.
Hey, everybody, it's great to be here with everybody.
Hey, Hollywood, you're in there twice, buddy. You might want to mute one of them. Or
you got your video and your audio separate there.
What do I do, Glenn?
Leave with the other. Can you kick that one out, maybe, Doug? Will that let you do that?
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Hey, Hollywood, they don't trust me with the technology. It's only Steven and Doug. I'm only here for the pretty face.
Yeah. I don't know this stuff at all either.
There we go.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
There you go. All right. So who else do we have up on? Who else do we have? Oh, there's somebody else trying to get in here.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
I didn't like that response. So I'm going to switch this over here. Wow, that was kind of interesting. Who?
Well, they came and went.
Oh, who was
so?
Who?
Before I get, if I read it correctly, it said Darkwing Dubs.
Oh dear God!
Yeah. I knew that was coming in.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
well now I understand why you said.
Yeah.
What you said. That makes a whole lot of sense.
I wasn't prepared for that. Wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, that will do it.
Dylan, I love your shirt today. It's very awesome.
All right.
Oh, thank you.
Let me get all right, so if you guys have any questions or there's anything that you want to ask Travis, or just kick this off, this is your show. This is what we this is what we do this show for, is for you guys to ask our guest of honor, or if you want to ask anybody else anything. So I know JJ, you're up in the hot seat, it looks like.
All right. I don't know. I'd love to continue talking about the arcade went up pricing and leaks and everything. There's so much into that. I don't know. I like a lot of the link. I mean, I'm huge into Tron. That's really exciting. I like how Walmart is having the $300 models, but you can still get better versions elsewhere. I like that, but I kind of wish they would also sell risers and other little bells and whistles, so if you wanted to later, upgrade, so it's easily available. What's everyone's thoughts on the new leaks and new prices?
I think we should lead it off with Travis. I mean, Travis does have a couple of arcade one-ups, buddy. How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, I love Tron, and Tron's always. I used to when I would go into an old school arcade, I would basically tell whether or not it was a good arcade if they had Tron. That was one of the games. I'm like, if you don't have Tron and Star Wars, then you're not a real arcade. I don't know. Maybe that's just. But yeah, I mean, I was excited to see it, but I'm running out of space now, so I'm kind of having to figure out which games I actually will buy. The one thing about Arcade 1-Up that I think they still need to fix is their communication about release dates and re-releases. Because, for example, Marvel versus Street Fighter, which I ended up buying one, there was a long period of time when it wasn't clear if they were going to come back out with them. So I paid scalper prices on mine, and 2 weeks later, they were available at Best Buy and stuff. And I'm not even going to tell you how much I paid. It was a ridiculous amount of money from eBay. So but there was and I waited for weeks before I made that purchase, because I kept looking Facebook, where is it coming back? Are they going to re-release it? I emailed Arcade 1-Up, are you guys ever going to release these again? And I just want to make sure, because I want to make sure that if I buy this, that I'm not going to come out. And of course it did. I think their communication about some of these things needs a little bit of an upgrade, but I do like the pricing structure where you can get the less expensive versions of them and give that for the people who just want the game and nothing else. But then people like me who want, the stool and everything, give me all of that. Give me all of it.
I'm curious. I wonder what he paid. I'm not going to ask him, but I wonder what he paid.
A lot of money.
He's got over 100,000 subs, man. He's bringing in the big bucks on YouTube. So I'm wondering.
$1 million.
Stupid amount.
Travis,
well, here's the next question, Travis. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, are you happy with it?
You paid stupid amount of money.
Well, so it's in so I made sure that I got it to make sure it's in the background of all my videos now. So now I shoot my videos in a different room, so my arcade, part of my arcade, you can see in the background. I made sure it was right in there, because I'm going to get a tax write-off on this thing if it's the last thing I do. Make sure it's in the video, so I at least get the tax write-off. Yeah, it's cool and everything. It's actually not one of my favorite fighting games, and I way overpaid for something that I only kind of like. Like, I really like X-Men versus Street Fighter specifically. But for me, I need it for my fighting row. Like, the Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, whenever that comes out, Marvel versus Street Fighter, like, that has to be the fighting row. And I felt a completionist need, as I know some of you guys know what that is like, whether it be playing a video game or or a collection of video games, I felt the need to have that when it just made sense. So I'm happy with. The only thing I'm not happy with is the fact that the screen seems smaller than a lot of the other fighting arcade 1-ups, which I was not aware of before I bought it.
Just screen gameplay real estate, or are you talking about just the bezel?
Well, the actual screen seems like it's smaller. Not the area of everything with the bezel, but like the video game playing screen actually looks smaller next to my other one. And it could just be that the bezels are so thick that it's an optical illusion. But every time I look at it, I go, that is just straight up smaller. It's got to be, right? And again, I paid way too much.
Yeah. I mean, that might be your subconscious, trying to get at you for paying that exorbitant price and just trying to, tear it down a little bit too.
Well, I think
because you're trying to overly justify your purchase price.
Yep. I think historically, though, that we see that Arcade 1-Up would re-release games maybe with different artwork, but lesson learned. Okay, a little boo-boo there, but I think in the future, for anyone out there, I think Arcade 1-Up, as we can see by Pac-Mans that keep coming out, that they will re-release IPs that they have accesses to.
Absolutely. I mean, if it makes money, they're going to continue to reproduce it, repackage it, and repurpose it so it continues to make money for it. So Killer Instinct, when it comes out, I guarantee there'll be a newer, improved, more bells and whistles, silly plus version, 6 months down the line for that one, because it'll be a hot seller. So if you don't want to deal with early adopter fees, or if you want the ultimate edition, it's just like technology, with gaming consoles, cell phones, everything, there's always something new and improved 6 months down the line. Arcade 1-Up is no stranger to that, demographic and understanding. So the same, rationale is going to have to be applied for these arcades too. If you have to have it now, you're going to pay that early adopter fee / have that buyer's remorse of maybe seeing something with more bells and whistles later on down the line.
Right.
But you also may get lucky too, because we keep hearing all this talk of component shortages and component prices going up, forcing them to pass that on to the consumer. So you may actually get lucky, because that $600 arcade, which sounds easy to scoff at, might be a $700 arcade in 12 months. You don't know.
Right. And I could definitely tell you that, I'm making some things myself, that parts, supply chain, shipping, all that stuff is getting astronomically crazy. I have only I think a pint of blood left in me. I've been selling all my other blood just to get some parts over here. But it's true. So what Doug said was right. So you may scoff at a price now, but I think you guys are going to see in the next 8 months to a year that prices are going to be quite a bit more for the same thing you got with less, to be honest.
Anybody else? I'm still working on getting you guys a little bit better.
Steven, I've got
quality.
some thoughts on it.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Patrick just did a great review on the Tempest CAD, but in his review, he was unhappy with the spinner. He said the quality wasn't very good, and he would immediately put lens spinner in it. And he also thought the buttons and the joystick weren't the best quality. And this is a common theme with the 1-Up. No matter what price point cab you get, there's always something wrong with it. You always have to mod it. I just don't think it's worth it for the average person. I'm like, spend a little bit more money. Just get an arcade. It's better hardware. I think they've got a better online gaming structure as far as finding your games and adding them to the system. I think if their price point can come down a little bit lower, I see them grabbing a lot of market share this year.
What do you guys
think?
Well,
that's the one good thing. That's the one good thing about Arcade 1-Up is you have the ability to add things to it. You hate to do it at the price point. Now, I will say that the spinner, I actually have a couple of the new spinners because people are buying my spinner, putting their spinner in the box and returning it. So I got to return open the box to Arcade 1-Up's new spinner. So I have a couple of them. And I will say that the new spinner is really not that bad. It's very free spinning. It doesn't have the metal top to plastic top, but when you compare it to the original Asteroid spinner with the clickies, it's light years better. And I think it's usable in the machine over the past ones. I know Patrick probably just wants to have that metal top on there, but I think that they've at least improved that a little bit. As far as the buttons go, I've seen it myself on my Space Invaders. You hit the button a little too hard, the button kind of sticks down the bottom. But you can get a bunch of them off Amazon. I'm sure Doug can give you a better price, telling up prices on buttons on there. But to be quite honest, I think just about everyone in the community, anyone watching the show, anyone in any one of the groups, there's a little bit of a modder in them anyway. It's like when you buy a car or when you buy a nice stereo, you're always going to put your personal touches on it. You're never going to buy anything out of the box and say, it's perfect. There's always going to be something you're not going to like. And I'm going to say, for me, on the Tempest cabinet, I think I like everything about it except for the way they set up the 3 buttons
Glenn,
there for the.
Is your
yes.
spinner compatible with that new machine? I had a couple guys comment on my videos saying that the pinouts were different. I haven't actually cracked open the control deck yet to look, but a couple guys were on my channel today telling me that your spinner isn't compatible with the Atari Legacy cabinet. Do you know if that's true or not?
Well, I've been talking. Well, I should say I've been talking. I've been in communication with Arcade One Up for about 4 months.
Muted.
Am I muted? What happened?
I can
Did
hear
you
you.
mute me? Okay. So
Just talk. I'll fix it.
I'll just talk. I'll take it. So the trackball, in the older Arcade One Ups, there was a 8 millisecond delay that we had to incorporate into the trackball. I'm not on mute. I'm not muted. But I'm not.
No, their Zoom call crashed. These guys can't hear us, so they're just running
body language here.
But we can hear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send them. Send them.
He's coming through.
Say real quick.
No, you guys, Zoom crashed, and I'm working on getting it up. We can hear you. You couldn't hear us. It's good. He heard you. He's answering your question. Go ahead.
Okay. So the trackball had the original Arcade One Ups had an 8 millisecond delay. They took that away in their newer cabinet. So my trackball is compatible. I simply taken off that jumper and putting it in the standard mode, and the trackball works. And the spinner looks like it works turning left. It does not work turning right. And I've been in communication with
it's
Scott.
a NASCAR spinner.
I get.
Make it a left turn.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. If you do spin one way, you'll eventually come around.
Yeah.
But I've been in communication with Arcade One Up probably about 4 months ago, where they said they were going to work with me, and I've heard crickets ever since. So I've pretty much given up getting any information out of Arcade One Up, and that's totally fine. I can't expect them to help their product along if they don't want it. That's fine. So when you have to get one, and when I get it, I can take a look at it. It could be a simple pinout thing. I don't know. But I was kind of hoping Arcade One Up would work with me a little bit longer, since I've had a pretty good relationship with them, helping them out with some products. But hey, if Arcade One Up wants to go their own way and not support me, I will still do it on my own. But it'll just take longer because I need to get one of the units. I got to take it apart, send it to China, have them look at it too. But I'm hoping to make it compatible. However, I'm going to do the best I can. We have a lot of products coming down the pipeline right now. So it's probably not going to be, if Arcade One Up doesn't want it to be a priority, I don't know if I can make that a priority right now for myself, unless I just happen to come across one and I can work on it and see it firsthand.
I'll send you mine, Glenn. I'll ship it to you. You can play with mine.
If that's the case, Dubs, I will take care of you as well, my friend. I mean, take care of you in a role diet.
Be careful what you say.
Be very careful with that,
Well, hold on. Let me change my sunglasses if we're gonna get that freaky. Hang on a minute, Glenn. Let me get ready for this. All right, buddy. What were you saying?
That's full service Glenn for you.
Yeah.
Now let's see. We have a problem here. I think I've already got a size issue already, because if I go here, I definitely have the smaller side of the glasses going on.
Oh boy, Travis, are you regretting coming on here yet?
I've known Glenn for a long time, so none of this surprises me.
And I got to say real quick, I'm going to be honest. Travis, I've noticed quite a bit, and I know when he started his channel, he's like, I'm going to focus on this. And he's done a really amazing job with his channel. His channel is growing very, very well. He's got a huge, great following. He does great tech reviews on there. If anyone doesn't watch his channel right now, you really should check out Travis, because, like Rexer, like a lot of other people out here, they make some really good content. But he's one of the good ones as well. Not only does great content, but he's just a really good guy. He's like the opposite of me. He's more like Doug. He's just a really good person.
Doug's a good guy too. Met him at CES of last year. But I'll tell you, like, the way that I actually even knew about Glenn was when I was first starting out. I did a review of one of the arcade little setup ones. Glenn, do you remember which one? It's the one, the 12.
Was it the My Arcade? Was it the My Arcade?
It was My Arcade. And someone in the comments goes, "Hey, because I was like, I didn't really know a lot about them. I just knew I thought it was fun and it's cool. And like, you can get these and blah, blah, blah." And someone was like, "Yeah, man, you should go over to Glenn's Retro Show. He has he's changed it into like a projector or something." And I'm like, "What?"
Mad scientist.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? And at first I didn't believe him. I'm like, let me go find this Glenn's Retro Show. And then like immediately I'm like, this is amazing. I'm here forever. So yeah, I started out as like a viewer before any of that, and yeah, Glenn's been amazing to me when I've had questions. Doug, same thing. Like both these guys are absolutely incredible and super nice to me, and they have no reason to be, but they totally have been super cool. I really,
you know what?
enjoyed
Now that he said that, I feel really bad because I was that guy who told him about Glenn's Retro Show. I think. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, Glenn created a fake account and just came in and is like, you should check out that Glenn's Retro Show.
Probably
guy.
what happened.
I hear he's, all the buzz. Yeah, more people should subscribe to Glenn's Retro Show.
That's probably what happened. All right.
It worked.
Do we have anybody else in the I think I've gotten everything straightened out as best as we're going to get it today over on the Zoom. I apologize that you guys lost audio for a second, but Hollywood's potted up there. Who else? We have Jeff Rainwater. Looks like he's driving home from work.
How's it going? Glenn, we need a spinner now for the iArcade. You got to give us some kind of add-on that we can do because we just got Gunbarak, and I feel like that game needs a spinner.
Look, I'll tell you right now that first of all, Zhang is a fantastic guy. You can see I got his hat on right here. Zhang is actually a really amazing guy, and we've been talking for a while now. There are some technical things you have to overcome on the iArcade for certain reasons. He was very big on anti-piracy, and he dealt with a lot of his people who he's getting license from about anti-piracy. There's no USB ports on the device. However, I've been talking to my technical team who might have an idea where we can get some analog controls like a spinner and a trackball, Star Wars yoke, and the other things going down the pipeline. So I will say that Zhang and I and his technical team have been talking back and forth. We're working on something. So if it's going to be possible, we're going to figure it out, and we're going to try and do that. Absolutely. I really want to support iArcade. He's been very supportive of the community and us, and I want to get back to him as best I can. So I will say it is definitely 100% being worked on. If we can overcome one hurdle, it'll work.
Glenn, I have heard from a very reliable source that anything is possible, my friend.
You know what? It's true. I've had some dates. I got some girls that actually go out with me. So you're right. Anything is, and no chloroform was needed. No chloroform was needed. It was all a regular date.
But funny. What he fails to mention is the chloroform was still there on standby. It just wasn't needed.
Oh, brother.
Well, he's right, but I'll laugh at that anyway.
Yeah. All right, what do we got here? I'm also watching the chat, so I apologize. Today I'm gonna kind of be like a little bit in autopilot and making sure that the chat room is getting their questions as well answered. We've got Deputy Van Halen. He says, when I get a faulty arcade 1-up cabinet, I complain to P-Dubs and the Rexer Show. LOL. I still owe them a copay for the therapy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's so true. I've seen where they'll comment on the video and say, P-Dubs, I got my cabinet, but there's this thing that's messed up. And then later on, like on my next video, they'll be like, P-Dubs, I got an update on my situation with Arcade 1-Up. And they'll just tell you the story. So that stuff is really cool to see when the community wants to keep you informed as to what's going on with them. So it's pretty exciting. So yeah, I've enjoyed seeing those posts, Deputy. So, and I'm pulling for you, buddy. I'm pulling for you.
All right. Let's see who
I gotta ask Travis something real quick here.
Yeah.
I know some people are big iPhone people here. Travis, are you more iPhone? I think that you are, or Android. Where does your allegiance lie?
Well, so for a long time I was Android. I'm using a lot of iPhone stuff now, mainly because I have my iPad, which is what I edit my channel on, and the MacBook and everything. So my main phone right now is an iPhone. But I do have Android phones like left, right, and center.
So what is your favorite Android phone? Because I'm due. So what are you recommending for an Android phone?
Well, honestly, like right now, still my favorite phone is a phone from like 2 years ago. It's the OnePlus 7 Pro. But there's a bunch of really great phones out there right now that are pretty inexpensive. You're kind of spoiled for choice, to be honest. Like any of the Samsung stuff, even their mid-range stuff that came out recently is pretty good. But I do like OnePlus. Their pricing structure has gotten a little bit wonky lately, but I do love their products. Still super smooth. Like they were the first ones to come out with like a 90 hertz refresh rate in the US. So really, really enjoy their products. And they're actually based here in Seattle. They have a business here, a building here.
Nice. I remember their first product when it came out. You had to be like on a referral list to even get one of their
I was
products.
gonna say,
so now you can straight up order it right now.
I had one of the first two, yeah, because of that.
You son of a.
They sent it to me when OnePlus first came out. I had the first, not the first phone, but that first
model
that came
out. Wasn't that the OnePlus One? Wasn't that the
it was
first
the OnePlus One, and it was decent. It was decent for the time, but then when the Pixel came out and the Nexus, it was kind of like, yeah, I don't want, because I was more worried about security. You know, you start using Android Pay and everything like that, and OnePlus is rooted, I mean, for lack of a better word, right? It's unlocked. So I kind of dropped them after that. I was like,
gotcha.
iPhone.
So I'm saying between a bunch of Apple people. I got all Apple
people
around me.
Yeah,
well,
surrounded.
I think the Zoom
I should tell you something, Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn, I'm an Android guy over here, Glenn. I got your back.
All right.
I got you, Glenn.
Thank you.
So, Travis, tell him. We tried to tell him this. Once you go Mac, you don't go back. He just doesn't agree with that.
So, at this point, it is very hard to go back because
Thank you.
Well, here's the thing. To be clear, like I one of the things that I espouse on my channel is that you shouldn't be loyal to any particular brand. You should be loyal to your own experience, like whatever that is, right? Love whatever you love. Get the best deal for your money. Having said that, it is really hard right now to beat Apple on like laptops and stuff, especially with like their new MacBooks. The power is ridiculous. The pricing is good. You can run Windows on it if you want to. Like you can do that without having to do a whole bunch of things and making a Hackintosh. You can't really go the other way. So right now it's, I hate to say it, but it's
well, to be fair,
I gotta say real quick, it's okay to be loyal to a brand, Travis. It's okay to be loyal to a brand. Just saying.
But to be fair, okay, for you Android and Apple guys, both companies know how to lock you into their ecosystem.
Yes.
So it makes it hard to switch on any, and even I wanted to switch to Android. I did because I had Google Home throughout my house. But Apple makes it to where I just can't. I have to do 100 steps to do 2 steps on the iPhone, and I was just like, it's just not worth it. So
the one thing I do like about Apple, I mean, first of all, it's an American company, so I like that thing. But I do like how their security is extremely, extremely high. I know with Android, I'm always tangling with the devil a little bit, with security. But I do respect Apple for having very strong security and very loyal to protecting the end user security as well. So I take my hat off to them for that. I just don't like being cattled around, I guess, so much with some of the things like I like emulators. I think they banned them, right? You can't get like game emulators really on.
It's very difficult.
Open the Emu. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Come on, man. But aren't there like more on Android though? I like all the it just seems that way.
There's anything and everything on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Travis, of the new arcade one-ups, you heard, I don't know if you watched the show last week, but we had a pretty big banter about a lot of that. $600 price tag, and you guys in the Zoom weigh in on this as well. $600 price tag. Are they doing it right? And also the babycade. Is there a market for it? Is it worth the market for that?
If Babies R Us still lived, then maybe. Right? You don't remember that store?
I do remember that store. Yeah.
I mean, it was attached to Toys R Us. I'm wearing a freaking Toys R Us shirt right now. But
exactly. That it would make more sense then if we had Toys R Us stores. Like I think that thing would sell it like hotcakes. I'm unsure about the when I saw you guys and I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching the stream last week, and you guys pulled it up with Glenn's picture and everything, I thought the entire
fake. Yeah.
I thought the entire thing was fake. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I thought the entire thing was fake. And then I realized, well, that is actually how tall Glenn is, so that must be real. and then I saw like this I used to have toys that were like that looked like that. They were plastic when I was really young.
Yeah.
I just don't know
little text type stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't know if kids that age care about Pac-Man. It might be too not as fun. Like I don't know. They must have some type of research.
Yeah,
I think they are making a arcade one-up Little Tykes Grand Theft Auto 5, so they'll have it.
No, Travis hit it on the nose. The kids don't necessarily know Pac-Man and stuff. I think you're going to have like the 50, 60-year-olds. They're going to be buying this stuff for their grandkids, but they're not going to actually play with it. So the grandparents will buy them. These things will sell like hotcakes, but nobody's going to play that. My gosh, that picture.
I had to pull it up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Hey, I
you
agree.
missed
I
it.
agree with Jeff. I think they're going to.
Listening to the live stream,
Oh.
and I don't hear audio.
All right, so I put
It's
the
not
audio
good.
back. It was when I played Glenn's
Picture.
yeah, when I played Glenn's picture. Sorry about that, guys.
I'm too handsome. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You didn't want to hear Glenn sit there. He was just sitting there staring at it anyways.
You probably wouldn't lose audio if you're using like an Android device, though.
I knew that was coming.
No, because I have macros set up to kill the audio when I play videos. So that's why it loses audio.
I went to a Samsung store. There was a security guard there, and I said, "What do you do here?" He said, "I'm the guardian of the galaxies."
But it
But
back to that when you're buying kids, like they have those play tablets for what, $80? They're Android tablets, right? That you can drop them, throw them. You're gonna buy that for them because they can watch a show on it. They can watch Paw Patrol. They're not gonna want to have. I don't know. I have a hard time with this because as a
You're
parent,
not gonna find an $80 iPhone tablet. That's
wait
for
a second.
Sure.
I'm gonna buy, if I'm gonna buy an arcade 1-up, I'm gonna buy an arcade 1-up. And then I'm gonna have my kid play it. I'll buy it for the $2.99, right? And then let my
you
kid
will.
play it.
But your parents who go through a store like Kohl's,
They're gonna buy
or
an
something
$80 tablet. I'm serious.
Maybe.
That's what they're gonna buy. They're
Maybe.
not gonna buy this device.
Honey, look, Steven buys these for his kids. Let's buy him this little plastic one. They can spill the drinks on it. Let's take it.
Come on, man.
You know what?
I got a different
You know what it
view on
could
this.
be, and I don't know if they must have done some sort of research for this because we all look at this and we can punch holes in it pretty easily. But there could be a couple of like angles on this. It could be that overzealous dad that really wants to get his kid into arcade gaming, like we all are. Like we really want to like be that
No.
gateway drug for our kids. Now, having said that, I don't know that it's going to work. I think that that's the mindset of someone who might purchase this. They might buy it and realize that their kid is not going to play it. So I don't know how long Arcade 1-Up is going to sell something like this. But then you also have to ask, what is the correct return on investment for Arcade 1-Up? Do they only have to sell 10,000 of these for them to break even or do better? Like, is their number really low to be successful on this? And if so, then it will be a success, but we don't really know.
Well, like Lockanani says, he said, just buy a countercade, and I agree with it. But my question with that, Travis, is on John D's hiatus, is this the big brainstorm that he came up with? If so, he needs to take another hiatus. I'm just being honest. This is just absolutely ridiculous.
I'm just really
Come on,
curious
it's
where this
better than
fits
that
in the
skater
marketplace.
guy that we had, that little countercade skater thing. What was that skateboarder guy that nobody knew who he was? And they had the little countercade of that, and everybody's like, what? Plus, look, Glenn's going to buy one of these, and he's going to mod it to play Leisure Suit Larry. We all know
Oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. And it's plastic, so it'll be easy to clean.
Doug, what were you saying?
I'm trying to struggle to understand like where this fits in the marketplace, because Walmart has already got like a dedicated arcade 1-up spot. They're not going to like expand it. A lot of places have actually shrunk like an 8-foot section to a 4-foot section, or things like that. These look in those mock-up photos was all pre-built, so they're going to take up some real estate. So unless these are just like pallet drop scenario type of things that are destined for big lots, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, places like that, I don't understand where you find these at in a retail environment, because I don't think you're going to walk into a Best Buy and see a pallet of arcade 1-up juniors, or a Target pallet of arcade 1-up juniors just sitting there in the middle of the aisle. And I don't think you're going to be ripping them off the shelf at your local Walmart in the arcade 1-up section. So it's like, are these direct-to-consumer online purchases only, or are these big box retailers like Sam's Club, Costco only?
I got a feeling they're gonna be in the toy section over there with the young kids' toy sections, where I think you'll find them.
Is the question?
by
the question.
the little kitchen sets and stuff.
The question
Yeah,
that I want to know is B Kong, is he going to mod this? Now B's got a bunch of young ones. Could you see yourself buying one of these for one of your kids, or are you gonna just put them on your arcade 1-ups?
It's true. I have a 4-year-old with it, and she's seen the Pac-Mans and the countercades and kind of likes it for 2 seconds, and then maybe it's just she's inundated with everything else, but she doesn't actually want to play it. She likes just to mess around with it. So there's not going to be a lot of solid gameplay. I think this is going to be probably one of the biggest baby shower gifts on the market. And if anybody has that wish list, I can see a lot of new parents just like, ooh, I'm browsing a catalog. This might be cool for somebody to pick up for me as like the pie in the sky hot ticket item. So I think whoever buys this for somebody will be one of the most popular people to those new parents. But I can see this being a very popular baby shower gift. In fact, I have new friends that are having kids, and since I'm an arcade guy, this is going to be my go-to present now for them. And whether their kids are brand new or they're going to be 3 years old, I think up to that market is going to be super popular. So I think from a business standpoint, there's market there for people that, like us, want to give our hobby to others, whether you're a grandparent or whatnot. This is going to be that ticket in.
I personally want to see Mrs. Kong next to one of those little cabinets. That's what I want to see.
Yes. Looking forward to modding a Star Wars yoke into a baby cade.
I knew you were going to say that.
I take Glenn's yoke and I put them into anything I can.
So Mr. Pure Play in the chat room, he says about toy stores will ultimately price
similarly priced children.
Yeah, I can't see it right. It changed here. Similarly priced children toys, including Walmart, but in the toy section. That's what I think Brad was saying earlier. Somebody was saying that on the Zoom.
Man, I tell you, as somebody that frequents the Walmart toy section, toy aisle on a regular basis, it is cutthroat. I mean, you think you're going to get a giant, I mean, they're still small, but in the scale of a toy store and a toy section or whatever, that's a ton of real estate. So if you think you're going to just overcome the Mattels and the Hasbros of the world and take a 4-foot section out of their planogram, Arcade 1-Up is successful, but they are not that successful. Hasbro and Mattel would crush them if they tried to, eke some real estate into their Walmart toy store section area.
But Travis, I mean, since you brought that up, don't you think it would just be easier just to get a countercade?
Yeah, they already have the products for this. They just have designed something. I don't know if they're trying to create the niche or if they see a need. I don't know why they would see this need, but apparently they see a need to fill. Because you got to remember, all these products have to go through, at least I would assume, like any other company, a process by which people are sitting down and going, this is a good idea. And then someone above them has to sign off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this is a good idea. Now let's go do molding. Let's go do, that it just seems like someone along the way would go, okay.
All right. Sure. So I just figured out, I just figured out what the purpose will be for this, for modding. Okay. This is what the adults are going to do. They're going to buy these because they're made of plastic. They're going to be made so you can put them in your swimming pool. You need to mod
flotation devices.
I'm serious. You need to mod it so it floats. And call the video.
Battery pack back there instead of change out the wall outlet so you don't electrocute.
That's
yourself.
right. Or make it do like Detroit Love did and put a battery pack inside so it's self-contained. Run it for 2 hours to where you can plug it in and charge it outside of the water. Dude, now you got me interested. Now I would buy one of those.
That was kind of early IR arcade marketing, where they had the gentleman in the pool playing the IR arcade bar stool or the bar top on the side of the pool. So
Will
they saw
it
that picture
float?
and they said, "We're gonna run with this. We're gonna make floating arcades."
I'm telling you, if it's small
It's not
enough,
a bad idea.
you could float it in a pool or a baby
Not a
pool
bad
or
idea until
whatever.
somebody gets rowdy and dunks somebody playing Pac-Man. Little
Well-
Timmy's over there trying to get a high score, and then here comes Uncle Johnny. Boom, dunking him underwater, ruins his high score, game over.
All right, B, you got your marching orders. You think you can handle it?
At first, I need to have access to a big enough pool because I only have those little shallow wading pools that you get from the 99-cent store. But
Good enough.
Just make it
it's a
water.
terrible
Just
idea
make
to
it
even
waterproof.
Electricity in any form of water with kids. as a parent,
Oh no!
I just-
This isn't with the kids now. This is with the adults.
It's for the adults.
This
to
is for the
play.
adults,
I'm
so we can
modding
play in the
it so
pool.
I'm used to modding, electrocuting myself live on YouTube anyway. So doing it in a pool, no problem.
Hey,
as long as it runs on 12
You'll
volts,
get
nothing can hurt you.
you'll get viewers, man. I'm telling you.
I
I've
think
got a different view on this.
I think the ultimate mod of this is a smaller Well, I mean, I think the height is just perfect for what I'm about to say. Put 4 wheels on it, have it battery powered, and it becomes. By the way, this sells $1 million. It's the toilet version. So when you're sitting on the toilet, you roll it right in front of the toilet while you're doing your business and you're playing your game. Who wouldn't want that? I'm buying that tomorrow if someone comes out with that.
That's.
I do that with my
If it is
Astro
battery
machine
powered
now.
though, that actually brings a lot of other possibilities of taking it to like a park or like other places that I mean counterarcades even themselves used to have to plug in. But I'm curious if they do make it somewhat battery portable, that would really expand the possibilities of uses for it besides just having kids play it. Because I'm sure adults will want to just get in there, right? Like if you're a grandparent and you buy it for your kid, you're gonna try to test it and see if it works. So yeah, I want to see real life Glenn next to his baby version.
We
testing it out
we
too.
need people in the chat room to weigh in. If you have kids that are under the age of 5 or around 5, are you buying this for your kid? That's what we want to know. Put it in the chat room right now. And Glenn's projector arcade would work for that. I'm assuming our pool conversation. That would not be a bad idea.
Well, in the sun, not so good. But when you have the babes at night, when you're in the pool, some margaritas, a little projector on there might not be too bad.
Sorry, Hollywood. What were you saying?
I've got a different view on this. My brother,
Yeah,
he has
absolutely.
2 teenage boys, and for that $2.99 price, he bought that Oculus Rift 2, and they use it all the time. They play tons of games on it. You can buy the games at a much lower price point per game, and I think that's a much better value that adults and kids can enjoy together.
I don't believe Michael B, the Game Genie. I don't believe him. He's bought everything else. He's buying that. It's getting in there. He's lying. He is totally lying. Michael B, we know you got a problem. You are buying it.
Yeah, he has a locking in. He said no.
And the poor guy's in Canada. He's probably gonna pay $1,000 for it.
That's true.
It's true.
The only thing about the babycade I was thinking about, will I get it? I probably not, maybe, but I do have a little guy at home, and sometimes his friends would come over, and I'm like, see that Star Wars machine? That's like my second child. Please be very careful, and the last kid that came over, I think he almost knocked it over. I don't have it mounted on the stand, and I think he almost tipped it over. I was about to literally have a heart attack. So having like a little babycade down in our family room or something for the kids to just beat the heck and have some fun, maybe. Again, I don't know if I would get it, but speaking of another $1 million idea, I thought of one. Okay, here we go.
You gotta say
Put in
trademark
Nintendo-
first before somebody steals it.
Trademark it. Trademark it.
This is trademark for the retro. All right. Have the same kind of plastic cab, but be able to put a switch into it and like a little TV out to a monitor. Every kid has a switch. You get the arcade experience, durable, cheap. It doesn't have as many guts. You got the switch as the guts. I don't know if you have to work a deal out with Nintendo or not, but I don't know. I think a lot of people go for that. Every kid has a Switch nowadays, and I think that would be a really big seller. That new one with the arcade one up, when you can play the Switch games, the little control panel, that sounds pretty good. The Intac one, it's like sold out all the time. I don't know. I think that would be a big moneymaker.
Well, let me ask you
I
something.
don't know. Wait, I don't know if you even have to get Nintendo involved if you're going to make something with HDMI and just fits it.
Right.
I don't think Nintendo has to be involved at all.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
But let me ask you, JJ. With that said, you said when your kid's down there and messing with it, you stick an arcade right next to another arcade that kid's used to playing with, and say, "Here, play on this. I'm going to go back to playing the big boy one." Do you think that child is going to go back to playing that?
No, definitely not. But I could send his friend who's wrecking my stars machine down and play on the beater one.
They're not going to do that. If they're sitting next to they're going to want the big boy.
I know. I'm kidding.
No, I know, but do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
This is a hard sell for me, and I hope I'm totally wrong. I really do.
I'm going to be out of we're the 4 dentists. I'm that one dentist out of all of us that think that might not be such a bad idea of this console. They sell the little Tykes girls play sets. They take up a lot of space. I think actually Arcade 1-Up, and if John did come up with this idea, I don't think it's a bad idea. Depends on the price point, of course, but I don't think this is such a bad idea. Besides, I look great standing next to it.
Well, we're not going to lie. I think this was one of those nights John D came up with it when he was probably had a little bit too much to drink on one of the shows. I think that's kind of what happened there on that one.
I know that this to me is similar to like the Golden Tee. When that was announced, everyone's like, "Why are they doing Golden Tee?" Golden Tee was a phenomenal hit at bars. It was not when a general gamer would play. The casual person played Golden Tee, and it sold extremely well. And I do think that this being a plastic machine, probably being a little more rugged, pre-assembled, I think it'll do pretty well. It may be sold maybe in a sharper image catalog, or Kohl's direct mail order catalog to deliver to the store to be picked up. But I think actually this is not such a bad idea. And you know what? I might actually pick one up. Maybe I would pick one up. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you guys something. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I want to go down the line here. Travis, we'll start with you on this one. This whole pinball movement with all these companies, the digital pinball that's come out, is this a fad? Are we seeing the end of digital pinball? It's going to run its course for the next couple months, and then it's done? What do you think?
So I was never like a huge pinball fan. I played some on occasion, right? But I was never something that when I went to an arcade that I really spent any time doing. I did like a couple of the ones that came out in the early 2000s. I thought they were kind of cool. But the digital pinball is the only real way, much like the new arcades, the Arcade 1-Ups and then at games and stuff, where you can actually legitimately bring in a part of your past and not be a huge pain in the butt. Because if you some people will actually get the real arcades, and that's cool, but what they don't know is all the repairs they're going to have to do and all the crazy stuff they have to do, and it's just above and beyond what they really want. Same thing with pinballs. Like, those things are massive machines with all types of things that you would have to repair. So for the people that are big pinball fans, this is a way to kind of recapture it. And based on what I've seen, especially with the mods I saw Doug do on his, they're pretty darn amazing. Now, whether that is scratching the itch of people who really love pinball, I couldn't say, but I think they look pretty cool. And while I don't have space for one, I wouldn't be against it if I had like a little bit more space, just to have one to make the arcade room look even more complete. So I don't know specifically, but I think it was a great idea.
Doug?
Yeah, I don't think it's a fad. I think it's here to stay, and just it was more of a proof of concept. Could they do this, all these companies, under $1,000 and make something that was enjoyable, that quasi replicated the experience of playing on an actual mechanical machine? For years, everyone said, no, it has to be $2,000 minimum or something like that. And then, the thought, I mean, we even talked about it on the show before we actually got to see the Arcade 1-Up announcements and got to see and experience the machine itself. We're like, how do they do this under $1,000? Like, how does anyone do that? And then Toy Shop came out of the blue and kind of, started it off and said, hey, it can be done. Obviously, it did have some issues with it, but it was a proof of concept. It could be done under that $1,000. And Travis brings up a good point. Just like arcade machines, pinball machines are a cumbersome size investment, a price financial investment. I mean, a brand new Stern machine, even if you're getting the bottom of the barrel, quote unquote, pro versions, $6,000. Like, that's an absurd amount of money to spend on one specific game. So these virtual pinball machines, obviously, they're going to split people right down the middle that are pinball fans. You're going to have people that are just dedicated to the mechanical values of pinball machines, and they're not going to give it the time of the day, no matter how good it is. And then you're going to have people that are kind of on that line that said, okay, I can be swayed either or. And they're going to look and say, well, $600, $700 investment versus $6,000, $3,000 investment, size differentials, more games, one game. So they're going to be easier to win and sway. And if these things progress and get more advanced and have more bells and whistles, so to speak, whether it be frame rate issues or resolution, things like that, solenoids, haptic feedback, whether it be surround sound feedback, if that continues to advance and progress, because again, we're still in the first initial stages of virtual pinball for a consumer market. If they only get better from here and they still stay under that $1,000 price point, then I think it's definitely here to stay.
Glenn, what about you? I know you don't really have one.
Well, I do. It's one I made myself. It's it's a
right.
tiny pinball machine. But for me, I think in today, again, in our modern age right now, and you look at like a Stern pinball that could cost you $10,000 for a physical real pinball, V-pin is the way to go. The big thing is with anything with virtual pinball is screen resolution and the processing power to make it happen. And I think between Ad Games and Arcade One Up, they've kind of had a good balance in there. I know there's Toy Shock as well, but I think that's on the lower end. But I do think that both companies, for a consumer level, fairly obtainable type of unit, that it's okay. But as technology goes a little bit better, we need higher screen resolution and more processing power behind it. But I would love a real pinball machine, but again, if you think like my Zaxxon behind me, that thing's hard to keep working. Try keeping a real physical pinball machine working. Good luck with that. So I think that V-pin is the way to go, but we still need higher screen resolutions and a little more processing power to really make it better. It's okay right now, especially for the price point. Because if you build your own, we would even talk this many times, talk about $2,000 for a really high-end one. So I think for the price point thing right now, it's not too bad.
All right, JJ, go down the line. Let's do JJ, Hollywood, then B.
What are we talking about? Just the
do you see it as a do you see the virtual pinball as a fad, or do you see it as something that's going to stick around that people just really want real tables?
Boy, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I don't know. I'm a big real table guy. I go to there's a thing called Pintastic New England I go to every year. It's got hundreds of tables, free plates. It is very different. I do like both. I think I agree with Doug said, though. I think, they proved they could do it. If they could keep the price point, maybe even somehow get it down. If they could stay within that, I think they can keep it going. But if it keeps increasing, I don't know. They might lose some people. And I think what Glenn said about the screen resolution is huge. It's got to have a really good screen resolution. It's got to be as good as the ones you can get on like your PS4 or your PC. If it's not that quality, I think they got to up it to that.
Hollywood, what do you think?
I think At Games is leading in this race right now. Everyone says, and I agree with them, it's the best quality machine for the money. And if they just continue to make the improvements, like Glenn was saying, better hardware, better screen resolutions, I think they'll continue to be the leader. And I think Arcade One Up, they're in too lazy, relying on low-end components, and they do have some market name tables, but if their hardware and other things don't increase, I mean, I see them, they're the fad, and they're going to be out of this market within the year.
Wow. B, what do you think?
Let me get off mute really fast. Hollywood, you make a really interesting point of kind of how the model, it's very two different models of what's on the market right now. And I always kind of put it in tiers of who you are as a virtual pinball enthusiast. If you are the very casual person and don't want to get deep into the hobby, the Arcade One Up product is perfect for that person. The person who's a medium enthusiast that has the ability to want to get into it a little bit more, At Games gives you that ability to upgrade. And I've sunk so much money into my At Games because of the possibilities it has. But a true V-pin enthusiast, the hardcore real pinball player, is gonna go the route of trying to build their own. The ones that have really started the $2,000-$3,000 builds, making the full size 43-inch or 50-inch big V pins, like that's for the really big enthusiasts. So if you fall in one of those three categories, I think there's going to be a market for it in terms of a fad. I see right now a lot of people in that middle bucket that want to jump from casual to being a medium fan that wants to do modding. And there's just so many questions, and the hobby is too deep. And I can see, and I get scared for at games, a lot of people breaking their pinball trying to mod it to something that they see, but maybe not have the skill set to do. So part of me worries about what they've done in terms of offering that modding ability. But I think people are hungry to learn, but we'll see if they can get it easier. It's starting to get easier. Pinball installer, Baller, whatever platform you use, the easier you can get it, the more consumable it's going to be.
Interesting.
Words of wisdom. Kong doesn't belong on here. He's using too much of his brain.
I was just going to stop him there. It's like, no, Kong, you have a YouTube channel. Tell me, which one should I buy? At Games or Arcade One? Which is better?
Yes.
I don't have that little TMNT version of it to say that's my favorite football game, but after doing it, people ask me all the time too, and people really think I'm an Arcade 1-Up homer because I gave a positive review mostly for my Arcade 1-Up one, and then the At Games one. I started off by saying,
but that's what you're gonna get. It doesn't matter if you give anything a positive review, you're bought by them.
And I got to say something real quick that he said that. It was Travis did a fantastic video on trolls, probably last year. And, you know, I'm serious. He did a really good video about that very thing, that no matter what you say, someone is going to just troll you and do it. If you haven't seen the video, he did a really good job on it, but it's kind of the life. Yeah, I got targets all over me. It's okay.
Put yourself in the spotlight and you do things that other people don't do. They'll sit back and criticize you for it, but you won't see them.
Keyboard warriors are the toughest there is to get in front of their face, and then they just back away.
You will not catch them on screen. You won't catch them creating content, but they're going to tell you everything that you're doing wrong. They won't tell you what you're doing right, but they'll tell you what you're doing wrong. So in their eyes,
just like your mother-in-law would tell you.
Yeah. No, I don't have that problem with my mother-in-law, but I'm sure there's others. So Travis, right now, out of all, before we got to wrap this up, all the Arcade 1-Up releases, if you're planning on getting any new cabinets, or maybe you're going to filter out a cabinet to get one, which one is catching your fancy, so to speak?
So 100% Killer Instinct, without a doubt. I used to work in an arcade, and Killer Instinct was something that I played to death, and Killer Instinct 2. So that is absolutely happening. It's something that I didn't think they would ever get the license for. So when it was announced, I was refreshing the page every day, wondering when the release date would come. It's 100% happening. Beyond that, there's only a couple of titles at this point with the amount of space I have left that I will absolutely buy an Arcade 1-Up for. Like, I have my At Games, so I'm good for anything that I really need. I have a computer connected to it. Like, I don't really need anything else. There's only 2 games I can think of off the top of my head that I would absolutely buy above and beyond Killer Instinct. And that would be a Tekken series of games. And, of course, the one that we may never get that everyone wants is NFL Blitz.
And there's one question that has to be answered that's in the chat room, and I believe it's for Doug. Oh, did you answer it already?
Yep.
Oh, darn. I was expecting Michael B to jump in and be like, cool toy? Yeah.
Wait, you got to do the old.
Yeah, you got to do the raising of the hand.
Raise the hand.
I do like the Killer Instinct. I was saying last week, I am torn between that and also The Simpsons. The Simpsons is just like, I know it's like Turtles. It could get old, but you know what?
I like
Simpsons bowling.
Oh man,
Simpsons bowling's fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was telling Doug earlier. I was like, do I need any more cabinets in here? Not really. Do I have any room for it? Not really.
That's always the conundrum for an adult. Do I need any of this stuff? Absolutely not.
Bro, let me tell you something. I have a room, and I know you do too, Doug, because I watched plenty of your videos of stuff that should go in the next yard sale available. But
100%.
But you know
we
what?
should all have a yard sale and save the world from hunger. Look at Glenn's backdrop. All the stuff he could feed a nation.
Oh wait.
I'm going to say something here. I almost did something tonight because Travis was coming on. I just ran out of time to get home from work today. I was going to unbag all my stuff for Travis. I ran out of time.
Man!
Whoa.
Wow!
That's a commitment.
Whoa. It was,
What did you do to him,
is one of those
Travis?
guys I would have totally stripped all my stuff in the entire place for. I just got home too late.
Oh man,
Wow. That's an honor.
Wow.
I watch a lot of Glenn videos with those paper bags or the plastic bags. Yeah, it's amazing.
Well, people in England were trying to get bags, and they
It's
restricted and started charging.
Yeah.
It's all Glenn's
Yep.
fault.
It was. They were paying 25p. That's a lot of money for a bag. I am sorry,
That's a
England. I am
ton.
sorry.
I went through, and I've been like older cameras and things that I don't use anymore. I started giving them away to people that are starting to live stream that are local, because like you said, Travis, I mean, you're running out of room with stuff that you maybe used 2 years ago that's kind of outdated from what you're trying to do because you're trying to step it up or whatever, microphones, whatever. It's insane. We could probably do everything in a community yard sale.
I've got friends that tell me all the time and tell my wife, it's like, hey, whenever you guys have a yard sale, let me know because I got dibs on Doug's stuff.
Wow.
But the problem is I don't let anything go. So it just, I'm turning into Glenn where everything is just eventually going to be my downfall, my demise, where my action figures, my arcades and everything just crushes me. That's why I go to the gym and lift weights so I can like try to hold this stuff up as long as possible.
Travis, while you're here, man, when I do drop, don't let Steven and Doug get everything. You get over here and get something for Cole. Cole's going to throw this all on the street. I'm telling you.
It's a battle royal when that happens. Let me tell you, buddy. It's a battle royal.
Yep.
We'll have to live stream that. Like we'll be standing there. And...
Oh, that would be awesome. I'd be a ghost, but I'd love to see it.
All right, Travis. Travis, you got 30 seconds. Get in there and grab what you can.
Yes, I mean, we can make a reality show out of it. I think we can.
There you go.
The supermarket sweep version on it on Glenn's stuff, and just like have everybody come in. What's the price on that? Do a little show.
Oh, no,
Kong doesn't have to worry. Kong already owns all my stuff, so he doesn't have to come here. He's got everything already.
This is true.
Kong's not gonna have any place to put it with all the stuff that he's got. His wife will then throw him out.
Yeah, I mean, beyond my toys.
Oh, wait a second.
Room, my arcade room has blown up.
Kongs,
Sure.
where is Unicron, man? I don't see him back there.
Oh, it's there. Here, it's just pointed that way.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Oh, there it is.
Nice.
I haven't even transformed it yet, Doug. It's just been sitting there the last 3 months.
I don't blame you as long as it takes to transform the thing. I mean, that's a commitment to get after that and try to, fully transform it.
I think the thing is, I don't have a space to put it in its other mode. I mean, even that takes up a lot of space, but talk about toy space. Ugh.
Yeah.
First world problems.
First world problems.
For sure.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this up here. Guys over on Zoom, we really appreciate you coming in here. So go down the line, go with Kongs, then we'll go to JJ, then we'll go to Hollywood. Let them know what you're doing, where they can find you, and all that good stuff.
I really just came to check out the Zoom connectivity thing because I'm really curious, Steven. I love your series that you've been doing recently. Big shout out to that series you're doing on Thursdays about what's the series?
Oh, Broadcast Now.
Broadcast Now. I've caught a couple episodes about how to be a better content creator, and I just want to say I appreciate all the tips that you've given me personally. And for folks that are doing any sort of content creation, definitely check it out. Steven is definitely a hero when it comes to equipment and tips. So thanks for that. But otherwise, I have a YouTube channel called Kong Through Us where I like to play with stuff and tinker.
I like turtles.
Thanks.
I like turtles. All right, Mr. JJ.
All right. Yeah, Kong, I've seen a lot of your videos. They're excellent. It's an honor to be on the panel with you here. I love that outrun one you did. Fantastic work.
By the way, that T-shirt that you have on, I have that same T-shirt. And
nice.
I went to go run and look for it. I was like, I want to be buddies with you, but I couldn't find it. But I bought it a while ago. I want to be
T-shirt buddies.
I love great minds think
awesome.
alike. I wanted that Unicron so bad. I was so close to getting the Unicron myself. But hey, my final thoughts in the Babycade though. Okay, so I've been deeply contemplating the Babycade. At this point, I'm out, unless if anyone from Arcade 1UP is listening, and I'm kind of serious about this. If you care about the community, Arcade 1UP, you would do a special edition on your site and on the box the picture of Glenn. I would buy that.
I would buy it. All right, I would buy it if it was Glenn's Retro Show. Yeah, I'd probably buy it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He has spoken. Arcade 1UP, make it happen. Hollywood. What's on docket?
Steven, I just wanted to do a couple of thank yous. Thank you, Brad, for the pinball buttons. Thank you, Meatball Saucy, for helping me configure it. Total game changer for pinball. Almost as good as owning the ALP. Kong, I want to say I love all your streams, especially the Sunday chill and chat with Mrs. Kong. Even though I'm never up early enough to see it live, I always watch the replay. And wanted to thank Stephen and everyone. I love being on with everybody, and everyone keep up the great work. Thank you, Stephen.
You got it. And also, we have Mr. Travis. Let them know where they can find you.
MCP! MCP!
You can find me outside of Glenn's house waiting for him to keel over and get all this stuff. Yeah. But other than that, I'm all over the place at Travis MCP. I'm just really super happy to be here. I love the fact that I changed my background, my backdrop of all my videos to show my arcade. I think shows you that I love retro arcades. I worked in an arcade. I've grown up with video games. This is my passion, that if I had another channel, it would totally be about like retro arcades and old school arcades. So I'm one of y'all. I love all this. I love it.
Well, we're waiting for you any day.
No, I can't do it better than you guys. I'm just watching.
Oh, dude, we just, you know, this whole thing just started just because we wanted an outlet to chill and chat and talk about this stuff, and then
mine was a court order, but okay.
Well, you were on contract, so I mean that was a big difference. Whatever. Mr. Doug, you guys, I'm just gonna say youtube.com/cooltoy because he won't say anything about it. But Glenn, you're on the clock. 60 seconds.
Well, this time it's not gonna be about me at all. I want to do something real quick here. So I want to make sure you guys know about all these people. YouTube, Retro Recipes, of course, Super Game Room dudes. You have a bunch of great guys on there. Our friend Angel Atero makes these great light-up marquees. Kong's a Russ, of course, a phenomenal channel he has as well. Rexer, he did a Donkey Kong video, which I saw. I think he did a phenomenal job on not only building the Donkey Kong machine, but the video quality itself. He just did a great job. And of course, my friend Travis MCP. I'm serious, guys. Check out his channel if you haven't. You probably already have. But if you haven't, Travis is a fantastic guy. I'm very happy to call him my friend. Of course, you know, contractually, he didn't have a choice. He's got to be my friend to sign that contract. But, you know, these are a bunch of really good people. And most of all, I want to thank you for watching the insanity of our show here. We really do appreciate you guys a lot. And that's it. Not promoting myself. I want to promote all you guys. And again, Travis, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Doug, do you realize, like, he left you and I off of that list? You did catch that, right?
That's part of the contract.
Oh, hang on. Wait, where's the contract here?
You didn't read that contract. I mean, it's 37 pages.
I only have
front
one.
and back. 37 pages, front and back.
I have
no, just the writer. Like the writer, the list of demands is 37 pages.
I have the rest of it sitting over there. All right, I guess I got to read it. Back to the drawing board. Well, guys, we really appreciate it. Once a month, we do this community show. This was number 3. And sorry for the NDI issues. The network sometimes doesn't cooperate, but bringing Zoom in here, and these guys that are on the panel are on a different system. So for the most part, we had it working. We got it up and going. I appreciate Doug and Glenn for keeping things going as I was troubleshooting and getting things working. But yeah, as B said earlier, if you guys are into broadcasting, live streaming, you want to up your game, step up and don't ask me what type of camera you should buy. Go watch the show from last night and the show that's coming up. Broadcast now every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. We get into all this broadcasting stuff that maybe will help you content create live, if you want to do live, or just learn how to be a better presence on camera. Those are things coming up. So, guys, we really appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week for more of the Retro Buzz. Have a great holiday weekend. We really appreciate everybody tuning in. Keep it buzzing.